No people that in the house are doing this. You probably have heard. We got word around half eight. The local authorities or local authorities got an email from the Department of Education, basically saying the meeting tomorrow with cabinet, and obviously they're going to decide the future. Should the leaving so go ahead, or should it be cancelled, or should it be predicted grades? And many county councillors across the country, and many TDs and many people. Notably Conor Smith, well done to Conor Smith in cabinet, put huge pressure on Joe McHugh's. And fair play to Connor. He has a YouTube channel, so please do go and look him up and subscribe to him because he's done a huge work on iRadio. And he hasn't gone unnoticed. So thank you very much to Connor for raising the issues. The pressure on him because the Department of Education. I said he doesn't like me. Joe McHugh's man doesn't like me. Simple as that. Because I called the Department of Education. We'll get into that in a second. What I called them way back a few years ago. I called them, and they obviously heard the higher ups heard about it and they didn't like it. Because there's some things going on in the Department of Education. I'll talk about now in a second, but I'm going to say this to students. Some students will be upset. Some students will be couldn't care less, and I would sympathise with the people who care, who do you're obviously doing study and obviously putting in all the hard work. Saying leaving sort replied LCA in other words, it's a project. You come into school, you get points. If you do your assignments, you get points. What I'm in, it'd be upsetting for them because obviously, they put in all the hard work and, for projects and different things and all the learning in school and everything, it might feel a bit pointless. But it's for your safety, students. We're doing this for your safety. And I really hope the cabinet doesn't contradict me in the morning and say, you know what, but anyway, they let cherry pickers in. So, they're not really, public safety is not really their top priority, to be honest with you. Sometimes the government gives different messages, in other words, and I'm sure people would agree with me on that. There's different messages come from the government every day. But I think it would be the right decision, and I sympathise with people that are worried about it and upset about it. But I'm saying to people, and I'm going to give out in a few seconds with Joe Hughes, but I'm saying to people, well done to the students. You came through it. Hopefully tomorrow we will have the finer thing that's going to be said about it, and people can relax easily. But I'm saying to students, you done your work. It's out of your hands. It was an act of God. Well done for all the work you put in, but don't worry yourself about it. Predict the grades will be great, and I'm sure colleges will be a bit lenient this year with people going into college. So don't worry, really, really don't worry. And that's my message. But yeah, don't worry. But anyway, it looks like it will be cancelled. It does look like it. The cabinet will meet, but anyway, I'm not too sure what the Taoiseach will say about it, but anyway. So first of all, I just want to give out two about the Department of Education. I want to give out about them. I'm not going to be silenced. They tried to silence me before, but to hell with the Department of Education. First of all, I have huge respect for teachers, but it's the hierarchy. It's the hierarchy in the Department of Education. They don't give a damn. They couldn't give a damn about people's education. It's the same with Joe McHugh. And I'm saying to Joe McHugh, and I'm going to be very firm in saying this now. I called you 2 years ago. I said this even to some of your colleagues in Fine Gael. I called you a clown fest. And they went and told you, and they went and told your department. Because the reason why, and I'd say a lot of people agree with me now, because you took so long, like my Christ, you took so long to make up your mind. You couldn't make up your mind. When people asked you, and I even contacted your department, I contacted your office. In fairness, your secretary did get back onto me very quickly, so thank you very much to her. And I asked that you would get on to me, that you would address the concerns that other young people have said to me, so I set them on to the Department of Education. I wanted a response for them, for their sake, for their mental health, for their, to ease their worries. But no, I don't blame the secretary. The secretary was only doing her job. You didn't these young people were worried. These people were worried, and I was talking to them. They seemed very annoyed and very worried, because all the hard work, and they were very upset and very depressed about it in some circumstances. And you just you didn't make up, honest to God, you just didn't make up your mind. You just couldn't understand. You just couldn't take what to do. It was very obvious you should have cancelled in the first place. It's very obvious and give predicted grades. But you pitted around the country and you waited and you worried the hell out of so many students. And I said, there's even a girl, I'm not going to mention her name, but she said she was very, very worried and very upset about it. And she was upset. She was even, I could hear it in her voice when she was talking to me on the phone. She was upset. She was upset. She was devastated, all the hard work. And she was looking forward to go out and celebrate with her friends with the leaving cert results. And I said that, what she said, I said it onto your department. And your secretary more or less said, what can we do? Which is a horrible answer to give to people. Which is not what they said exactly, but more or less what they were saying, what's happening all over the country, why should we care? More or less that's what the answer was given. And that's what I took it up as, and I wasn't really happy about it. But it wasn't her. It was up to you. You should have responded to me, as a political activist who was concerned for the well-being of people, and you just sat up. I don't know what you were doing for the last few weeks. I don't know really what you were doing. Like every other, like the least in fairness to the other ministers, Michael Wing, and he's over rural development. He cancelled the tidy towns. He done it a few weeks ago. He said straight away, right, situation straight away, cancel it. In fairness, he had his mind made up already. And you obviously just didn't have a clue. And you won't be there for very much longer, Joe McHughes, because people will remember this. Young people will remember this. Young people will remember this. Young people in your constituency will remember this when they were waiting for the junior cert. When they were worried and sickless. Could they get the junior cert? Would they get the junior cert? Will they get the junior cert? Would they be able to do it? Would they not be able to do it? And this is the mixed messages. You were given mixed messages. You were like, this date, that date, the other date. You don't have a clue. And simple as, you could have said at the beginning. If I was minister, as I know it's hard. It's hard at the moment that I'm being out of school and the whole school is closed. But I would have said at the beginning, right, we have a pandemic. There's so many people dead in the country. There's mountains of people, out of school. And they have to do online learning. I would have said from the start, right, look at predicted grades. Simple as. I would have said people's health, people's well-being, people's safety. I can't explain, Minister McHughes, and I hope you see this, and I hope you respond to me. Because, I'm the one poor young person that you don't want to respond to. I'm the one person that you won't stand up to, and you won't say it. Because you tell me how many young people, because I can tell you, I can name 12 or 5 or can name nearly 100 people I've seen on the internet worried sickless. Worried. Some of them didn't get a night's sleep probably in a long, long time worried about this. Because people do worry. I'm one of them type of people. If that was me a few years ago, I would have worried sickless. I would have stayed awake all night worrying about it. I'm not that type of person now. I couldn't give a damn. Next year I'm doing my leaving, so I couldn't give a damn. Simple as that. My health and my well-being is more important than any piece of paper. And it's simple as that. That's just my opinion on it. But it's just the fact that I can't even imagine how many young people were affected by this and how you just brought them along. You dragged them down the road. You waited so long to make up your mind. Well, it was very obvious to see that you couldn't. And that's the thing. And I still stand by the word I said. I called you a clown pest 3 years ago. It's the reason why. Because people had to pay for SNAs. People with special needs children had to pay for SNAs because you wouldn't provide them with SNAs for free when they pay their taxes to the state. Like, I was enraged with that. I was enraged. As somebody's dyslexic, I never got an SNA person. It's enraged that, that people have to pay your department to have an SNA. I was enraged, and I still am enraged with it, that a country would think so little of people with special needs that they would just say, oh, you have to pay for an SNA. Like, just no logic in your department. And I still stand by that word, and I'm not withdrawing it, because I have my free speech, and if you don't like it, you don't go to the Constitution of Ireland, because you might be restricting movements, you might be forcing people to stay in the house, but my God, I still have my voice, and that's what I'm going to use, and that's why I'm saying it straight to you, Joe McHughes, that you won't get in again. Remember, and I'm saying to the young people of Ireland, remember this, that when the country was in crisis, people were worried sick about their friends, their family, people in their community might die from coronavirus. The Minister for Education sat up in Dáil Éireann, didn't have a clue should the leaving cert go ahead, should the junior cert go ahead, didn't have a clue. And that's the thing, it was the uncertainty, and that's what annoys a lot of people, it's the uncertainty. And I know it might come tomorrow, might end the uncertainty, but for far too long you dragged your feet and you've done nothing. As simple as that. You've done nothing. I never seen anything to try and reassure the public and reassure people who were worried. And especially them people, you didn't care much. You didn't care much. Simple as, you didn't care much. And and lucky I talked to these people because they were very upset. These people, some of them were very upset. They were very upset because all the hard work, and I understand, like put in all the hard work and then get nothing in return. It's upsetting. It is upsetting. But I'm just saying to John McHugh, you can learn two things for this. One, you can decide the fates of people's life and people's well-being, and you failed terribly in this case. Two, take some responsibility. Stand up. You could have said the first week when this happened, when the schools closed down, straight away, full stop, no junior cert, no leaving cert. People would have respected you. I wouldn't even have a problem. I would have said fair play straight away. If they came out and said we can't do it, simple as that. We can't risk people's safety. And that's the thing. I don't want any young people to contract COVID-19. It's very deadly, or anything. It's very deadly. It is for the best of everybody. But I'm sorry for that word, but it had to be said. And nobody's going to say it to him. And I'm saying to John Hughes, I'm free at any time to debate, and I'm free to talk about it. But I want to give you an example, and I want to give you if you can answer me, that'd be nice. Why you took so long? It's just the question why you took so long. Like, you can obviously see that it's going to drag on for a few months, this coronavirus, and the risk children's safety. Was something that many parents even know. I even talked to a parent. It was like, I'm not sending my son in the junior cert if she has to go into school. She was right, because she said, I'm not going to risk my daughter's health and safety. And she was right. And many parents would have been the same if he said, go ahead with the leaving cert. See, so you would have had the problem anyway. So you see, parents would have been worried sick sending their children in. They wouldn't have done it. So you knew straight away. But anyway, that's enough rant about the Department of Education. But I'm just saying, if anything like this ever happens again, please God it won't. But please learn from your mistakes. Thank you. And be safe, everybody.